Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and it's good to have you with us on the show this morning. It's Wednesday, June 21st. What happened in June? Who knows? It just flew on by. Dr. Amy Tan is my co-host this morning. Amy, it's good to see you.
You too, on this very hot and steamy June 21st.
I know, it just seems like it's been 100 degrees for the last couple of weeks. I know it's been, I went on vacation to Chattanooga, and it was like a high of like 81, 82 degrees. I think it was 59 in the mornings. Just beautiful. I get back to Houston, it's been like 100 ever since. And I know you had a busy weekend where you went somewhere where the weather was tolerable, at least, right?
Oh, it was amazing. I loved it. It was in the 40s and it was wet and misty. I know that's not everyone's ideal weather, but I thought it was fantastic.
Well, people are listening going, where did she go? Where did she go? Tell us where you go. We had a pretty big event.
So it was right outside of Seattle in the Snoqualmie Pass to North Bend area of Washington. And I think that's called the Cascades Trail. And I got to participate in a trail marathon there. It was pretty amazing.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And you come back to Houston and guess what? Welcome back to 100-degree weather, right?
I mean, you're just sweltering as soon as you open the door.
I know, it's crazy. But you got to get it done somehow. Right. I know you ran this morning. I got out this morning as well too. But it's good to have you with us, joining us on this midweek show. We got a couple more days left in the week. But on the show, we've got a great lineup for you this morning. Before we get to that, we want to thank everybody watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. We're here just about every morning that HCC is in session, live at 10 a.m. And Amy, they can also catch us on Facebook Live, social media, and HCCTV as well.
That's right. We are live on the Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC, and on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5, and 10 p.m., and that is Monday through Friday.
That's right. Okay. We've got a guest you're going to be talking to, and I'm kind of excited about hearing about this because I am in the market right now to buy a home. I'm going to be buying a home probably in the next 2 months is what I'm looking at. So a lot of things changing around. But how do you go about buying a home? Well, June is National Homeownership Month, and we're visiting with HCC partner Wells Fargo about some opportunities. We have Valeria Esparza-Chavez joining us on the show. She's the Vice President and Head of Home Lending for the Hispanic and Asian segments of Wells Fargo. Valeria, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, thanks for being here. You guys got a big event coming up. I'm interested in hearing about it. I'm sure our audience will as well. So Amy's going to be with you in about 10 minutes. Stick around.
Thank you.
Okay, first, we're getting an update on the HCC Police Department by meeting with one of its longtime members. I believe he's been around since 1994. Commander John Boxie, HCC PD. Good to see you, Commander. How are you?
Good to see you too as well, Todd. I'm doing fine. Doing what we normally do.
What's that?
Doing what we normally do, providing a safe environment for all our faculty, staff, and students.
Well, we appreciate that, but I want to talk to you. You've been here at HCC since 1994, is that correct?
That's correct, Todd.
Tell us a bit about what you've seen since you've been here. I mean, you've been here for quite some time, been through a lot of changes in leadership. Let's talk about your background with HCC.
Well, as you stated, I started here in October of 1994. I saw this wonderful institution grow, and it's just been a wonderful experience for me. I've been in the position of commander since 2017, and it's just been a great opportunity for me, and I really appreciate the opportunity.
Let's talk about, we're in the midst of summer right now. We still have summer sessions going on, but obviously it's a lot slower on our campuses right now. But let's talk about some of the parking situations. What should our students be looking for right now with some of the parking procedures for students, faculty, and staff during the summer season?
Good question, Todd. So as usual, the students can go to the Houston Community College Police Department parking link, and in there, all they have to do is click on obtain a parking permit. Put in their vehicle information, print out their parking permit. We ask that they display it in their rearview mirror, and situational awareness while you're on our campus when you're parking. Make sure you follow our parking rules and make sure that you only park in designated areas for faculty, staff, and students. We also want to make sure that our students make sure that they lock and secure their vehicles, and make sure they don't leave any valuables in plain view. And always just be aware of your surroundings where you park at.
You know, being aware of your surroundings nowadays seems more important than ever. It seems like every day in social media, I'm seeing somebody post something where they said, I went to the bank to withdraw some money. Then I went to the grocery store. And while I was there, people broke into my car. And this seems to be happening over and over, where people are going to the bank to do their business. Then you have other errands to run. I don't even go to a physical bank anymore these days. I try to avoid them at all costs because of this. And I know the HPD, Houston Police Department, has been addressing this. What can you tell our students? I mean, obviously, you need to get some cash at some certain times, but should you wait till you get to a campus to get cash? What are your best practices when that's happening?
Again, it's all about situational awareness. If you go to the bank, just be aware of your surroundings. You know, I advise you to go in the bank and get whatever you need to get for other people around, secure your cash or whatever you're getting. And then when you come out of the bank, again, situational awareness. You know, be careful when you walk into your car. Make sure you're not talking on your phone. And when you get in your vehicle, just secure your vehicle and drive off.
Lost and found is a big thing because students leave things on campuses. What are the police procedures when, a student leaves, an iPad or God forbid, a cell phone or something like that on the campus?
Well, you're correct, Todd. We always encourage our students to make sure that they secure their personal property, don't leave it unattended. But if they were to lose anything, we ask that they go to the college operations reception desk and advise them that they lost some items, and hopefully those items may have been retrieved. But in instances like that, the main thing is just make sure that you keep your personal property with you at all times. Never leave it unattended. But again, if you should lose those items, just report to the college operations reception desk and report that those incidents have been stolen.
Campus safety, big thing. You kind of mentioned a few things about it, but give us a brief overview of campus safety and some of the things you're trying to stress right now.
Well, Todd, providing a safe environment that's conducive for learning for us. That's our goal. That's our mission here at Houston Community College Police Department. And so we pride ourselves on making sure that we're out there being visible, being, just available for our faculty, staff, and students when they need us. And of course, our motto on campus is see something, say something. So if something looks out of order, or something is suspicious, pick up the phone and call 713-718-8888. We'll dispatch an officer to your location to look into whatever concerns that you may have. But that's our mission. That's our goal, to provide an environment that's safe for our students. And we work hard with our partners to make. We always have safety tips for our students to make sure that they follow those advice that we give them. So when they are on campus, they're prepared.
You mentioned the phone number 713-718-8888. Is that the best way to report incidents to HCCPD?
Correct. When you're on campus, that's your 911 number. We don't discourage you to call 911, but when you call 911, they're going to transfer the call back to HCC. So when you're on campus, we always encourage our students to lock in our number and just dial 713-718-8888. We'll dispatch a unit to you.
And that's a good point, because I didn't realize that if you were on campus, call 911, they're simply going to send it back to you guys. So really, you're kind of delaying the process, I guess, if you're calling 911 as opposed to just calling y'all directly. Would that be correct?
That's correct, Todd. So we don't want anyone to be confused. Everybody associates 911 with emergencies, but when we do all our orientations, we encourage our students, our faculty, staff to contact us at 713-718-8888 so we can dispatch a unit to you immediately without delay.
One final question, and I know this is important to students who may take night classes and may feel unsafe of their surroundings. Would it be appropriate if they are feeling unsafe and they want to have someone walk them out? Do y'all ever have calls like that where you respond to that?
Absolutely. Again, our dispatch is 24 hours, 365 days a year. And if a student is requesting a police escort, all they have to do is pick up the phone and call 713-718-8888 and let us know your location. We'll send an officer or security officer to your location, escort you to your vehicle.
That's a great service that you offer, and something I'm sure it's important to a lot of our students. Commander John Boxie, Captain of HCC's Police Department, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah.
All right, we'll have all the information on HCC's PD in our social media post after the show. All right, we're going to switch directions right now. Dr. Amy Tan, you've got a guest talking about home ownership. Take it away.
Yes. Moving on to Valeria Esparza-Chavez, Vice President and Head of Home Lending for the Hispanic and Asian segments of Wells Fargo. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here today, Amy.
Well, I'm so thrilled to hear all the things you're going to share with us. Let's begin with why home ownership is so important to our underserved communities.
Yes, we know that owning a home provides family stability and truly an opportunity and a pathway to build generational wealth. You know, I think about my personal story. I'm a daughter of immigrants. My parents brought me to the United States when I was 9 months old. And the opportunity of home ownership truly gave our family the stability to be able to live in a safe neighborhood. And it allowed me and my 4 brothers and sisters the opportunity to become college graduates and small business owners. And so we know that the family, specifically a Latino family who own their own home, they have about 28 times more wealth than a Latino renter family. And so specifically for underserved communities, we also know that the home ownership rates in Black and Brown communities are significantly lower, about 25 to 30 percentage points lower than the non-Hispanic white home ownership rates. And so there are a lot of opportunities for us to work as an industry with governments, with other financial institutions, and across the housing ecosystem so that more families who are underserved and who have been historically marginalized can have access to home ownership.
And you are able to access quite a bit of data about home ownership in our area. Can you talk to us about your findings from the Rice University State of Housing Report?
Yes, the 2022 State of Housing Home Ownership Report in Harris County and Houston says that the affordability gap for home buyers really has worsened due to increased housing sales prices. And so this is a huge challenge. And we really don't want, and we encourage our community not to feel cynical about what is happening. We know rents are going up, and maybe for those that are we're considering home ownership or becoming first-time home buyers, there are still a lot of opportunities. As I'd mentioned, there are a lot of local resources, down payment assistance programs, closing cost programs that are available. They're often underutilized, and especially in underserved communities. And so that's why I'm so excited to be here to share the information and to really encourage everyone to come out to HCC, to the 6815 West 6th Street campus. We're going to be having an event on July 15th, 10 in the morning until 1 p.m. We're going to have local nonprofit partners and the city of Houston that will be sharing a lot of amazing down payment assistance programs. There are new affordable housing developments that are happening so that more people can consider home ownership for them and for their families. And we also will have information in Espanol. So for families that need information in Spanish, please come out on July 15th. We're excited to share this information with you.
And HCC is proud to sponsor and support this event. It is going to be a wonderful event on July 15th. Can you talk to us a little bit about potential home buyers? Why is it necessary to be patient, prepared, and ready to keep on trying?
Absolutely. So as we mentioned, some of the data, what it shows, affordability is a challenge. Low inventory may be a challenge as well. But it's important to have a plan, to be patient, to really look at your finances, at your budget, see what it is that you're comfortable in terms of affording. If you're already renting, that's already a housing expense that you may have, but really to look at your finances and to see, what would be that payment that you would be comfortable if you were to move forward with buying a home and having a mortgage. Sometimes it may be a little bit more expensive, but you can cut in other areas, maybe not going out to eat so much, or really looking at your budget and what you can afford. There are also a lot of resources, for example, on our website at wellsfargo.com/mortgage, where you can see, affordability in terms of, determining your budget debts. And also maybe your down payment amounts. And then also it's important to think about going through and getting ready for that pre-approval process. And so working with a local lender or with a home mortgage consultant with Wells Fargo, so that you can really think through that financing plan and have that pre-approval in hand. So when you're going out to look at properties, you are ready. And all of this information also we will be sharing at our fair on July 15th at 10 in the morning. We will be serving breakfast. So please come out. Complimentary breakfast will be shared, but you'll be able to connect with local resources, down payment assistance programs. The City of Houston will be there. And also you can connect with one of our home mortgage consultants to see, and you can start getting ready for the process so that you can get pre-approved.
And working with professionals and getting that professional advice can really help, new homeowners, existing homeowners, to get, to have that knowledge when they're, what kind of paperwork do you need? What sort of, documents do I need? And you talked a little bit about the tools. How can buyers arrange for the true costs of home ownership?
That's a wonderful question. And I think it's really important to consider that when you purchase a home, depending if it's new or if it's, a home that has been around for some time, there will be additional costs that are embedded in home ownership. And so the rule of thumb is to really consider maybe on an annual basis about 1% of the purchase price. So if you're, buying a home that's $250,000 as an example, about $2,500 a year, that will be additional costs, added in. For example, when I bought my house within, 2 months, the furnace went out. So that was money that I had to take out of pocket and, landscaping costs, So really keeping that in mind, it's not just your mortgage payment, but also some additional costs that may come up. And so that's why it's so important to work with a professional, having that solid financial plan and that budget, and why we are having our Advancing Home Ownership Fair on July 15th. So you can speak with our professionals and get connected to local resources, as well as we will have housing counseling agencies that are in Houston, Harris County that you can connect with. And we're so excited to see you there. So please come out and register for the event. It is wellsfargo.com/events. And the registration code is AH23 Houston.
Well, before I let you run away, can you share with us, so you mentioned a little bit about the gap, and there's a low inventory with larger numbers of millennial home buyers entering the market. Can you give us just a couple of tips about when a buyer is ready to start to purchase a home?
I think it's really important to really, again, look at your finances. It's important also to take a look at your credit. There are resources that are available where you can access your credit free of charge. So you can see what your credit is like. And also, as I'd mentioned, it's important to get that pre-approval in hand. So working with a professional lending institution like Wells Fargo can help you to get started so that you can get on your path to begin looking for a property. And so I really would encourage everyone to, not assume, sometimes we may have, challenges that come up with our credit, but that's not set in stone. Time passes and our credit improves. And so it's important to, learn about, some of those important pieces about the home buying process, the basis of credit, what you can afford, having that budget. And we will talk about all of these things in our homeownership fair. We will have a homeownership workshop in English and in Espanol. And so again, I encourage everyone to come out at Houston Community College, 6815 Rustic Street, July 15th, from 10 in the morning to 1 p.m. We will have breakfast served.
Well, I look forward to seeing you out there, Valeria. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. I appreciate the time, and thank you so much.
And we'll have all the information on the post after the show as well.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you both. Speaking of credit, we've got something going on as well called Demystifying Your Credit and Diversing Your Profile. MBDA's Pandemic Recovery Center is offering a virtual workshop to gain insights on building a business credit profile and scores using proven strategies shared by industry experts. Separate session will be held in Spanish. It's from noon to 1 p.m. today, Wednesday, June 21st in Zoom. The Spanish version is tomorrow from noon to 1 p.m., Thursday, June 22nd. Check our post after the show for registration information. And we've got ballet for exercise available as well, Amy.
That's right. And this is for people who are over the age of 50. HCC's Community Learning Program is offering free summer dance classes for people aged 50 and over in a variety of styles, including ballet on Thursdays. Also offered are tap, jazz, and belly dancing. So that ballet will be at 6 p.m. Thursdays, June 22nd and 29th, and that's going to be at our HCC Spring Branch campus. Be sure to check out the post after the show for all the times, fees, and registration info.
You're looking for something for the kids to do this summer. This is something to watch out. Smart Manufacturing Summer Camps for high schoolers. Various Texas manufacturing industries will be introduced to high school students over a 5-day summer camp. Next week, 8:30 to 2:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., Monday through Friday, June 26th through 30th. It's at HCC's Stafford campus. For more information, check the email address in our post after the show. These fill up fast, but you still have an opportunity, at least for next week. Act fast, though. And there's also a summer practicum for Drama's GI60 Houston program.
That's right. If you don't have an opportunity to travel and you want to see a little bit of what's happening around the world, come on out. Drama's GI60 Houston. HCC will participate in GI60 Houston with 2 in-person performances. They will feature selected 1-minute plays from around the world brought to the stage by the HCC Drama Program's Summer 2023 Practicum students. That will be at 7:30 p.m. on Thursday and Friday, July 6th and July 7th. It's free. It's going to be located at HCC Southwest Fine Arts Center in the Corey Black Box Theater. Be sure to check the post after the show for all the registration info.
You know, the Corley Black Box Theater was named after longtime professor John Corley. Did you ever meet him?
I knew John Corley well. He was a dear friend, and yeah. I was so thrilled that they named that theater after him.
Well, here's a trivial thing, which I don't know if I told you this before. When I was in high school, we did a production of Camelot, and our instructor, Stephen Bradley, was the name of the teacher who guided the drama department. It was at Klein Forest High School, 1983, I was. And he said he was bringing in a guest director for the production of Camelot. He brought in this man named John Corley. And I think John was, at that time, was not in the Houston area, but he brought him in. John directed the show and all that. Years later, when I started in 2012 over at HCC Southwest, I run into John Corley again. I look at him, I'm like, "You don't remember me?" And he goes, "I remember you from when I was in Stephen Bradley's course." So, I mean, it was amazing. You know, I remember him from those days, and then got to see him at HCC Southwest. Well, he was
incredible. Well, you know, it's Houston's a small community after all, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's amazing.
Just wild.
Yeah.
All right, virtual information sessions for all future students here at HCC. If you're going to take any classes, we advise you to do the virtual information sessions. They'll teach you about eligible financial aid, education, career pathways, student support services. Check our post after the show for details. And if you want to take classes, you have to register first, Amy, and they can still register for the last summer session and the fall.
That's right. So if you're ready to lock in your fall classes, fall registration has begun. All classes are offered in person and online. We have our online anytime. We have online on a schedule. We have our hybrid courses, which are partially face-to-face and partially online. We have our traditional face-to-face courses, which meet in person, and our laboratory studio courses, which are hybrid labs. So to learn more about HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, be sure to go to hccs.edu/apply.
Okay, tomorrow on the show, we'll spotlight Coleman College again, this time for its endoscopy technician program. And Thursday Family Fun Day will host Main Street Theater. Hear all about them. Amy, thanks for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me. Always great to see you.
Always good to see you. And thanks all of you for joining us. I'll be back Friday. Sade is in tomorrow hosting Up to the Minute. She'll be here live at 10 a.m.